We've been working on the boat today, basically getting it ready for the spring to get it on the water. Last season, I made a boo-boo. Last season when I first got the boat, I was trying to do some niceties with the wiring and trying to get them snugged up. I was able to do it on one side of the boat with some nice clips. I screwed into what I thought was a pre-wall, and on the other side did really great. On the other side, not so great. And this is what I ended up doing. I ended up screwing or drilling holes right into the side of the boat. And I know what you're thinking, how could you? And I felt so bad. I couldn't believe it. I was so upset. But we're going to fix it. And what we're going to fix it with, a product called Marine Text. And this is a repair kit. Handles like putty, hardens like steel, sands like wood. Basically back these screws off, reverse the screws. I'm going to put a little countersink in it, hoping the white will be fine. It can't be worse than a screw right now. I thought I'd bring you with me. I can't be the only one who's accidentally drilled a hole through a fiberglass boat. Am I? Maybe I am. Obviously they wouldn't sell this stuff if that were the case. So we're going to create the putty, back these screws off. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done this, so I thought I would bring you along and see if we can get this repaired. We have a white hull, and I'm hoping that that's going to kind of look the part. So we're going to get right after that, and I'm going to bring you along. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get this screw out. So let's back this screw off. I did paint it white so it wouldn't look so bad. And you can see it leaves it's black behind there. So I got silicone on there. So I'm gonna get a little razor blade and we'll clean that up real nice. Let's back this other one off too. We might as well do both at the same time. This one didn't seem to be as bad. Rather than grabbing a blade and countersinking, you're just gonna use your Phillips head screwdriver and you're just gonna screw it in just like that. You're just gonna take your head and just clean up your edges like that. If you take something with blades, it tends to chip the fiberglass or your clear coat, and it leaves some pretty nasty spider cracks. So you want to just use a Phillips head screwdriver like that. And that'll clean us up right there. Let me go get a razor blade and we will clean the rest of it. And we're just going to clean this up a little bit, get this. You want to get that silicone out of there. We want to make sure it's going to stick. You know, it's so funny. I put this off for a while. I was like, I haven't been getting any water in with the screws, which just goes to show that you can screw it if you want. And that was a temporary fix and it was working, but I really think I want this better. I'll take a little lacquer thinner in here too, see if I can break off any more that's in there. Maybe just, there we go. Scrape that out there. Okay, let's get to the back one. We don't want any silicone there. Even if we got to open it up a little bit, I think that'll be better than if we didn't. I guess I don't mind too much if I've got silicone way in the back. I don't think that's going to affect us too bad. And that's fairly clean. We're gonna get some lacquer thinner and we're gonna really clean that up, get that wet, break up any more silicone that might still be there that we loosened up or up close and personal. So I got some paint thinner here, and this we're gonna use to clean up those two drilled out holes best we can. The nice thing about paint thinner is it'll dry up nice. You can get that right inside there. Now behind here is just carpeting, and so we're really not going to see anything that we do inside the boat here. This is all inside of some space that I have, some like storage space that I have. I thought Would be nice if I could put these clips in to keep my trolling motor wires kind of out of the way from getting hung up with my rods when I put my rods in these rod lockers. But little did I know, I was drilling right into the side of the boat. Really disappointing, but what's done is done. Now it gives me an opportunity to kind of show you how to fix it. And we got some poo-poo on here, didn't we? We'll have to bring out the magic eraser for that. You want that right in there. Don't be afraid. And we got some nasty nasties on there. I'll tell you, magic eraser takes care of that really easily. I'm not looking to do anything on the exterior of the boat. I really am just looking to do these holes. So I'm hoping by just doing the holes that just have this little spot here of white material that won't be too noticeable. That's the hope. Yeah, I'm not feeling any more silicone there, so I think we're good to go. Let's start mixing the product. Okay, so here's the paste and the hardener. If I'm not mistaken, it's 5-to-1, called Marine Text. 5 parts the Marine Text and 1 part the catalyst. And this is basically the hardener in it. And that's what we're gonna do. I got a piece of cardboard here to make this a little more user-friendly. So I'm gonna just put it right on this cardboard here. Okay, so this is pretty stiff looking. So we're gonna use, oh, this is really stiff. Okay, so we're starting off kind of harder than I like, but it is pliable. We don't need very much. We're only filling those 2 holes in. This is very much like Bondo. Okay, so wow, it's really, really stiff. So that's going to be our 5 parts, and we just want to put 1 part in with this. So I just think it's going to be just a little dab will do us. Looks pretty good to me. Well, that certainly loosened it up a little bit. I'm going to put another little drop in there. When I started to move it, I splashed it right off of it, almost like what you do when you try to eat your gravy off your mashed potatoes. Just splattered right off of it. I feel like we got a pretty good mix. Let's get this on. I think I'm just going to use the stick because I want that in there really well. It's kind of, this may take 2 applications. Oh, that's not working the way I thought at all. Oh, I don't like that at all. That didn't work out at all like I was hoping. So I thought I was going to be able to take some water here, kind of smooth it out, but it actually did not work the way I thought. As I said, this may be 2 applications of this material. You can see as I'm pulling through, it's kind of just following that hole line, which isn't good. So there's going to be a little bit of sanding here, which I didn't really want to do a lot of sanding, but it may be what I have to do here. We're gonna let that harden up. Here's the other one we did over here, and that's looking pretty good. This one I think we could smooth out a little bit more. But what I'm seeing is every time I pull through, we get a little more divot in there. So we're just gonna let that harden up and be able to sand it, and then we'll do a second application, and hopefully we can fill those little divots in. That kind of stinks. This one is, you can see the same thing with the divots. So we'll have to be doing some sanding here. I really didn't want to have to sand it because I don't want to scratch up my clear coat. But I think it's really going to be the only way we can get this to look the way we want. So I just got done running the razor blade right over it. You know, I wasn't liking the way it was curing, to be honest with you. It was really bubbling up. So I just decided finally, I'm just going to run the razor blade over it, let it settle. And then I ran a wet sponge over it. And it actually looks pretty good right now. So we're not going to play with it from here on out. Takes this stuff a little time to cure, especially being it's not super warm today. It's only about maybe 55 degrees out today, so it's not super warm, but it's warm enough to do the project. So we're gonna let that cure. Here's the other one. That's looking a lot better than a bolt hole, but like I said, we're gonna let that set up. We'll probably put another coat on there. You can see it discolored, which is not making me happy. It discolored my clear coat a little bit. Once that hardens up, we'll put a little bleach on that, and maybe that'll whiten that back up. Gonna let this harden up. It's gonna take us some time. It may take a day for it to really harden up the way it should. I like the idea that I don't have to put any sandpaper on it once I've did the razor across it. That's no worse than the screw heads I had on. I mean, it's not perfect, but that'll give us an opportunity to run another coat over that. Definitely better than the screws, as I said. All right, thanks for watching this segment. This is just one of those things where a little bit of boat maintenance. This is part of getting everything together this year, and we're ready to get out on the water as far as I'm concerned. Got the motors fired up. They're running up pretty nice, and yeah, feeling pretty good about it.